but we have to talk about the fantasy football situation before we let you go. So, as we know, Tommy's my guy. I'm a Tommy Pham guy. But what was it? I mean, that kind of had to be a great, not a dream, but it was a very good time for you and your job.
Unbelievable.
So what was that like?
Well, it was weird because I was actually in the Giants clubhouse when it happened.
Oh, Jesus.
So like I'm in there talking to Alex Wood, former Georgia Bulldog.
Yeah.
And I'm talking to Alex. And then like, we finish up a conversation. I go outside. The Giants PR person goes, Trent, what happened? I'm like, what? I was just talking to Alex. What are you talking about? And he shows me the tweets. I'm like, oh shit. So I go back in the clubhouse, and the visitors clubhouse at Great American, if you go, like when you come back up the tunnel, if you go right, it's the clubhouse. If you go left, it's like the training rooms. And so I'm going to go right just to see what's going on. And I looked at the left, I hear Trent. And I look over and it's Alex. And Alex is like, hey, was there a fight? I was like, I don't know, dude. I was in here talking to you. And I see Joc Pederson kind of pull him aside. And he takes him because he was with Joc. Like, all right. So I kind of look around. I don't know what's going on. And I hear like one of the coaches say, yeah, it was Joc and Tommy. It's about fantasy football. Tommy was pissed off about fantasy football. And I'm like, I think it's a joke. I really do. But then like we're kind of talking around and like maybe it's not. And we go up to Tommy and he's like, yeah. Like, oh, okay. So then, I'm trying to get the story and I do it certain ways, how reporters do. That's all going to be kept under wraps to protect the not so innocent. But so then like after the game, Joc does his thing, like, oh, violence isn't the answer and blah, blah, blah. And no, it goes into like the details. We're like, oh, okay. And it was weird because there was a 2-hour rain delay. So all this stuff, that's all we're doing is thinking about this. And like, I have that it's fantasy football. I have it on the record from multiple sources. And so like, I can't write anything until I have multiple sources, something like that. So I've got some of the details and we're trying to figure it out. And finally I'm like, I know when I put this started over fantasy football and he slapped him, that the rest of the day is shot. It doesn't matter what happens in the game. I'm not writing about the game. Well, so the game happens after 2-hour rain delay and Tommy, Joc does this whole thing. We go to Tommy the next day and it's like, I've played the tape for people because it's just so wonderful. I'm like, hey, Tommy, what happened yesterday? He goes, with Joc? Yeah, with Joc. I slapped Joc. He said some shit I don't condone and it had to be dealt with. And I had to address it. I'm like, the thing is though, that's Tommy. Tommy is the realest guy. Like, that's what I said to him. I was like, dude, I appreciate because like, I know whatever you say, you're not lying. Some guys will sugarcoat stuff. Tommy don't care. Tommy's going to tell you the truth as he sees it. And it's not going to be to try to save anybody's feelings. Nothing like that. You're going to get Tommy's unvarnished truth. He is the realest guy I have met in doing this in 20 years. Like that's the only way to put it. What you see with Tommy is what you get. And it rubs some people wrong, but others like it's funny. I was walking out of the clubhouse the other day and I was just talking to another writer. I go, man, Tommy, one of a kind. And I like one of the players just overheard it and he just starts busting out laughing. He goes, you can say that again, man. And it's just like, it's funny. Like the people I talk to throughout it, like people love the guy. Some people hate the guy. There's probably not a lot of in between, but the other thing is you watch him every day. Dude works. Dude plays hard. I would want Tommy Pham on my team. Whether we're playing baseball, if we're in a fight, so every year for years, we would do this game. I saw you did it, Jay, the other day. Like, who would you take in a fight? Like, who would you want behind you? And when Johnny Gomes was with the Reds, it was Johnny Gomes. And, we had all these other ones. And I remember, because you don't always go with like the biggest dude, I forget. Well, I do remember who it was said about, but it was funny. Mark Sheldon, who covers the Reds for MLB.com, one year he's like, someone was like, "How about this guy?" Because he was like a big looking dude, and and Mark's like, "Nah, he looks like a bleeder." And then you'll see guys who always are held back. You can watch every one of these bench clearing brawl or bench clearing incidents, and you see guys who are held back every time. Guys who should not be held back by anybody. And then there are the guys, and I'll put Tommy there. Like somebody said to me, it was like, nobody's going to hit Tom. The Giants aren't going to hit Tommy because whoever does it is going to pay. Like he's going to go after the pitcher and they're going to pay.